In GTA Online this week, we have a partial continuation of the 420 week bonuses. However, they've shifted slightly to different businesses this week, but it's actually even better than last week from a money-making perspective, which is good for all of us. So with that being said, let's start breaking it down and find out the best ways to make millions of dollars this week in GTA Online. If you enjoyed the video or find it informative, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you guys are new to the channel. I do this style of video every week to help you guys out. So starting with objectively the best bonus of the week, which is going to be double money on the counterfeit cash. I get the theme of this week's money bonuses. However, I think we can all agree we're probably getting a little tired of the MC business bonuses by now, although nowadays they are pretty damn good for making money. Counterfeit cash has a base value of $367,500. However, this can be increased by 35% by owning the hands-on car wash, making the total value $496,125. And it's again if you own the car wash. So with double money, you're looking at either $735,000 if you don't own the car wash, or $992,250 if you do own the car wash. Now, counterfeit cash produces from 0 to full stock in 5 hours and 20 minutes. However, if you own a mansion, you can boost the production speed by 3 times. Meaning it will produce this stock as long as you maintain supplies in just 1 hour and 48 minutes. So that's either about $408,000 an hour if you don't have the car wash, or $551,250 an hour if you do have a car wash. Now additionally, let's not forget that you can sell this in a public session or one of our crew sessions and make up to 50% more money as well due to the high demand bonus. Now without the car wash and the 50% high demand bonus, you're going to make $1,102,500 or $1,488,375 if you do own the car wash and you sell with that high demand bonus. Now, if you're looking for a crew to do your high demand bonus sales in, you can join my Discord server, linked in the description of this video. Get in there and get involved with our crew sessions and make yourself some extra money while being almost completely safe. Their counterfeit cash factories are also 40% off this week, including upgrades as well. So if you don't have one yet, I would highly suggest getting one and purchasing all the upgrades for it as well, including the security upgrade, because once you have a mansion, even if you don't right now, you can get the mansion security upgrade, and that will work in conjunction with the actual counterfeit cash security to make that business no longer rateable, which is really good, and trust me, you're going to want to do that sooner than later. Now moving on to the next bonus of the week, we have street dealers, and they're going to be paying double money for weed this week, meaning that instead of paying roughly $2,300 per unit of weed that you sell, they're going to be paying $5,600, and you can sell up to 10 units to each dealer, and there's 3 dealers in total every real life day. So that's about $156,000 a day, which you wouldn't be getting otherwise. And it's not too bad considering the effort that you need to put into doing this to achieve this. This is definitely something I recommend spending a few minutes every day doing. It's very worth your time. We also still have 4 times money on Hunting Pack Remix this week. Whether you're playing the regular version or the Get Lamar version, this actually pays pretty well and can be a good bit of fun if you have some friends. The winning team is typically going to get between $17,000 and $30,000 per round that they win. Now, you can set the amount of rounds won to be a very high number in this mode, so you can kind of farm money with this game mode. But if the rounds get drawn out for a longer amount of time, this amount of money per round can increase as well. This is definitely a good way to make some money while also enjoying yourself, and I do recommend giving this a shot at least once this week. And additionally, for winning 2 rounds of this, you're going to receive a bonus $100,000 in a special hoodie as part of the weekly challenge this week in online, so that's pretty sweet. We have another business discount this week, and that's going to be Smoke on the Water. It's 50% off this week, which is something that I recommend purchasing to increase the value of your weed farm by 35% permanently, and there's no maintenance necessary to, do that. You just have to buy it and that's it. Now, additionally, there's also 10 times money and RP this week, which I know sounds crazy. However, it doesn't actually pan out very well because the missions that it's paying 10x on typically give you around $3,500 to $5,000 per mission you complete. So it's realistically going to pay like $35,000 to $50,000 per mission. And those missions are quite tedious. They involve delivering packages to clients dotted around the city. The Smoke on the Water van is very slow, and the missions are quite boring. However, I do think that you should purchase the business itself this week, simply because it can make you way more money in the long run, and it's only going to cost you about $500,000 this week, so it's really worth it in my opinion. This week's HSW time trial, for those of you that have it available, is going to be Terminal to Chiliad Mountain State Wilderness. This is one of the longest time trials in the entire game, but luckily the route is fairly easy. Now, for this time trial, I recommend using a Banshee GTS or something else that's fairly good top speed wise, but also has decent handling. Now, you're going to be starting at the Los Santos docks. You're going to head out the main entrance and down that road, and you're going to continue down that road past the LS car meet, past everything, until you get to the highway entrance. Once you get there, you're going to go onto the highway to the west, and we're taking that highway all the way up to the Raton Canyon area. So you're simply going to follow along the highway. I recommend staying on the shoulder on the right as much as possible, especially when passing cars. Once you get up to Chumash and cross the swamp, use the middle of the highway bridge because there's not going to be any traffic there, obviously. But make sure to slow down for the corner right before the highway bridge that goes over Raton Canyon, because you could launch yourself into the ocean if you go around that too quick. And then once you've reached the other side of that bridge, you're going to turn onto the dirt on the right side of the road, and that's where the end of the time trial is going to be, just a little bit down that dirt road. Pretty easy, nice $250,000, pretty simple. Hope you guys can do it this week. It should be fairly simple. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent week in GTA Online. Make sure to take advantage of that counterfeit cash bonus. It's by far the best way to make money this week, for sure. And using that business alone, you should be able to make like several $1 million this week. I mean, if you sell it twice, you made $3 million, right? So that's pretty damn good, as long as you're selling in a high demand bonus session, which again, you can join my crew if you want to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you out with what to do this week to make money in GTA Online. If you did, consider dropping a like and subscribing, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Until then, take care. Peace.